Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from ArtAwry.com. I'm going to show you a very quick technique today, very easy, for making backgrounds or card backgrounds with photo paper. This was made using thin photo paper, and that's, you can see it's very buckled. I'm not sure what I could use those for. So I do have some slightly thicker. This is WALLIZARD, or however you pronounce it, and it is 180 GSM. Just got this from Temu and it's worked brilliantly for printing photos on, and it hasn't worked too badly for this technique as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it out with dye inks and with Distress Oxides. So these were both with Distress Oxides, I think. Yes, I think they were. So I'm going to try both, and I'm going to show you how you can enhance the colours when you use the Distress Oxides just by doing something very simple. So I'm going to start off with the yellow. You only need small amounts of dye ink for this, so just a tiny bit. You can always come back and add more layers later if you need to. Give it a spray and start smushing on the glossy side. That's okay, just 2 smushes there, that was quite enough. Now you can either let that dry, air dry, or you can use your heat tool. Heat tool will warp the paper, there's no getting away from that, but I'm going to do it just for quickness for this video. It doesn't take long for the dye ink to soak into that paper. It handles sort of liquid ink really well. So now I'm going to try my next colour up, which is an orange. Again, just a small amount. You can always come back. Okay, and some more smushing. It's looking nice. Because I used the red before and it didn't look good at all. And it splattered everywhere. Which of course it would be the red, wouldn't it, when it splatters, because it's the most stainy of all the colours. Never mind. Right, I'll just dry this off. When you're using a heat tool, pay particular attention to the outside, the sides of the paper. Seems to take longer to dry for some reason, or at least it does with this. Okay, that's looking quite nice. Now I'm going to try a green. I'm going to have to be very careful with this. I'm just going to put a small amount on like that. Like I say, I can always come back and add more if I need it. Okay, smushy. That's not looking too bad. Put a bit more over there, maybe smush it up. That looks okay. Okay, seems to have dried nicely. I wonder if I dare attempt the red, because I'll show you what happened last time. Because I put far too much red on and it just overpowered the entire thing. I mean, that's dreadful, isn't it? So, and then if you want to, you can come back and you can add as many different colours as you like. This is one I did before, which somehow looks a lot better. So actually, I think I'll add, instead of adding a red, I think I'll add a pink. I think that's what I did with that one. So I'll try this and I'll just add a little bit of pink, see if I can get something going there. Yeah, this paper isn't really thick enough, but it's actually all I had. I'm going to come in again with the orange, I think. Do a bit more orange in there. Yeah, I think I could perhaps cut out some autumn leaves, stack them instead of using foam, and I think that might not look too bad. I'll give it a go anyway at the end and see what happens. So I'm going to let that to dry on its own, and now I'm going to try the Distress Oxides. I've seen people use these before. I haven't seen them use the dye inks, but I've seen them use the Distress Oxide. So give that a bit of a squish. Spray. And smush. Okay, clean it up. And this definitely has to be dried with a heat tool, because although it is part dye ink, it's also part pigment, so that pigment's probably going to stay on the top. So I'm not sure if that gives a bit of a more subtle result. We shall carry on. Now I am going to try red again this time. No, I'm not. I don't like that. I'll try orange. I'm being a coward. Right. See what happens here. This is wild honey. Oh, and that hasn't done much at all. No. I am going to have to use something a little brighter, I think. Yeah. I need something a little bit darker than that. I think I'll try Crackling Campfire. That's a little bit darker. See what this does. You know, I never have this bother when I'm doing it myself. When I'm practicing for the videos, I never seem to have any bother, and then as soon as I get in front of the camera, the curse happens. Right, that looks okay actually. That doesn't look too bad. Oh dear me. I should get someone to secretly film me while I'm practicing, and then I can just upload that video. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to try a bit of green. Maybe I should have put the green on before the orange, but like I said, you can always layer it up if you need to. So I was a bit frightened to put too much on with it being so dark. But it doesn't look too bad. I could, like I say, you can always put more on. This is just to show you the process. I'm not going to... Hang on, there's a spider there. It's a baby spider. Right, sorry about that. Little interloper. So when you look at that, you might think, oh, that's a little bit drab and chalky. I don't know if you can see because, like I say, I have the ring light on. But what you can do now is take some kitchen towel and start rubbing it gently. So that removes the chalky substance from the top. You can see it's coming off there, and makes the colours much more vibrant, much brighter. This is the magic of using Distress Oxides versus the dye inks. I don't dislike the dye ink. I think it looks nice as long as you choose your colours and how much you put on. I think that you can end up with some really nice backgrounds. But I think this is only the second time I've done this, so I'm just learning myself, but you can see it's still coming off. But all of those pale chalky bits should come off when you rub it. You can see it's still coming off there because obviously it's a pigment ink, and the pigment tends to sit on top of the photo paper. So just going to get that all off there as best I can. And you are left with a much more vibrant, brightly coloured background for a card or to die cut, whatever you want to do. So where's the other one that I did? So that's the Distress Oxide. This is the dye ink. I shouldn't really have used a pink or a red on there, I don't think, but there's not that much to choose between them, although this one doesn't seem to warp the paper as much. That one's gone through a little bit more, but perhaps that's because I used more ink and more water on there. These are the ones I made earlier. I think that was Distress Oxide as well, and I think that was Distress Oxide. I'm not sure. I I can't even remember what I did. And these were the dye inks, I think. So, no, I get it wrong. Those were the dye inks. This was the Distress Oxide. But this is on but these are on the thinner photo paper. So, I mean, I suppose I could still use them. But anyway, that's how to use glossy photo paper as card backgrounds or for die cutting to make embellishments and things for your cards. So I don't know if you've tried this before or if there's something similar that you could point me to so I could have a go myself. But whatever the reason you've watched, I really appreciate it, and I hope this helped just a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye bye now.